Hey guys, Big Phil here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want us to talk about the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's been 2 weeks since I started using this smartphone and I stepped down from the Galaxy phones. I'll be using the iPhone 15 Pro Max as my main daily device. And for that 2 weeks, I've had so much experience using this smartphone. But the question is, being a Galaxy fanboy, being someone who's been using Galaxy phone for so many years now, I've used flip phones, I've used Note phones, I've used the S series. What are the things I love about the iPhone? Or what are the things I dislike about the iPhone 15 Pro Max? I'm going to tell y'all everything in today's video. Let me start this video by talking about the things I love about the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Starting with the number one. My number one thing I love the most about this phone is how good it feels in the hands. Listen, I haven't used a modern iPhone for a while now, for a few years now. And the reason is because starting from the iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14, they were very uncomfortable in my hands. They were too sharp. The edges were too sharp and they were just too big, unnecessary. But this right here, this is the perfection of all those smartphones. If you take a look of the iPhone 11, the 12, the 13, the 14, they're all similar. Even the 15 is similar to all those phones, but the 15 is a perfection of all those previous generation. The edges are now much rounder, it feels comfortable in the hands, and above all, the titanium. Titanium makes this phone to be much better. It is much lighter. I have the iPhone 14 Pro Max here. My wife is using it. And listen, when you hold these two smartphones in your hands, there's a huge difference. The 15 Pro Max feels incredible. It is light, much lighter. It feels better in the hands. Even the fact that this has a titanium material is a good thing because it receives less fingerprint as compared to the 14 Pro Max, which is stainless steel. It attracts so much fingerprint. And also the 14 Pro Max is slippery. Why this? This feels comfortable in the hands. You know, you don't feel like you're gonna drop your phone at any time because this is very comfortable. So the build quality, the design, and how it feels in the hand is the number one thing I love about this phone. The second thing I love about this phone is the cameras. The 3 set of cameras are incredible. This phone takes beautiful photos. The pictures that comes out of the cameras are just incredible. I would say the photos from this phone are similar to that of my professional A7 Mark III camera. There is no processing. There is no softness. Everything is just natural. It takes natural photo. And that's something I like. Being someone who is a photographer, I'm a professional photographer and I like to do my editing alone. I don't like the phone to process photo, making people's faces smooth and so shiny. No, I don't like that. So the fact that this phone takes clean, natural photos, oh man, I just love it. And I use it a lot for taking pictures. There are different lenses with this phone right here. You can start from 0.5x, which gives you a wide angle. This is great when you're taking landscape photos. The 0.5x is amazing. There is a 1x, which is the main lens, which is 24mm. It is fantastic. You could tap again the 1x to go to 28mm, or you could tap again to take you to 35mm to go closer, which I like this because it helps me to frame my photo. I don't need to move. I just stand there. I just simply touch the 1x. It moves from 24 to 28 to 35mm. The 2x, I don't use it that much, but the 5x, oh my God, the 5x comes handy so many times. There are times when I will see an airplane up there and I want to take it, I just tap on 5x, boom, it just zoom in automatically. It's just fast, smooth, there is no lag. Oh man, the cameras on this phone is phenomenal. The photos are mind-blowing and the dynamic range is phenomenal, especially RAW. I shoot most of my photos in RAW mode. So right here on the top, if you tap on RAW Max, that is the RAW photos. And I use it a lot. Almost every time I use it. And apart from photos, you could also do videos with this phone. Unfortunately, there is no 8K video like the Samsung S23 Ultra. With this phone, you can only shoot 4K at 60 frames per second. But there is one thing that I love, ProRes. there is ProRes, but unfortunately, you can only shoot ProRes when the phone is connected to an external SSD or external storage. Portraits. Talking about portraits, this phone takes incredible portrait photos, even though it's not as good as my professional camera, but as a smartphone, the portrait photos are great. The stereo speakers on this phone are another thing I love about it. They sound great. Now, I've used so many phones. Being a YouTuber, being a content creator, I've tested so many different smartphones. I've used so many different smartphones. And I would say this right here is the best sounding smartphone. It even sounds better than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I've tested both. I put both together, played the same music. The 15 Pro Max sound great. There is much bass. When they're sounding, it sounds much louder. Like sometimes, dude, I'm always impressed whenever I receive calls or whenever I play music from the phone or when I'm watching a video and the sound comes out. Oh my God, I'm always impressed. Apart from the stereo speakers, the battery life also is great. I was able to achieve 1.5 days with the same battery on a single charge with this smartphone right here. With normal usage, my brightness is mostly at 90%, sometimes 100%. Right now, I bring it down to 30% because I'm shooting this video. I don't want overexposure. But mostly, when I'm using this phone, my brightness is at 90 or 100%. And the battery still lasts me a day and a half. And I use this phone a lot. Sometimes I use it for shooting videos. I make a lot of content. I create so much content with this phone right here. The battery still lasts me a day and a half. So the battery life is phenomenal. The only unfortunate thing is the charging speed. It's too slow to charge it. To charge this thing from 0 to 100 can take like 1 hour 30 minutes. The display of the iPhone 15 Pro Max is phenomenal. Beautiful display, man. So much contrast, so much brightness. It's just good to watch content, watch videos. Anything you watch on this phone is great. But I would say the S23 Ultra has a much better display than the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But what I like about the iPhone 15 Pro Max display is the fact that there's not too much saturation as on the Galaxy phone. On the Galaxy phone, the colors are too bright, too vibrant. But on the iPhone, it's just natural. So I prefer the display of the iPhone 15 Pro Max over the Galaxy S23 Ultra. The last thing I love about the iPhone 15 Pro Max is the ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem. Yes, guys, I'm finally a full-fledged Apple ecosystem fan. Now, I've had my MacBook Pro for a few years now. I think around 2 years now. I've had an iPad Pro for so many years now. And an iPhone, I've had Apple Watch. And now, a modern iPhone. And the ecosystem is phenomenal. Moving files, moving photos, moving videos from one device to another is just seamless. It's freaking fast. Most times, I'm using this phone for shooting most of my videos and transferring those videos from the phone onto my MacBook Pro so I can edit it with Final Cut or DaVinci Resolve. It's just super fast. Airdrop is phenomenal, man. It doesn't matter how large the video is, how big the file is. Transferring it by Airdrop is super fast, it's easier, and it sends the exact same quality. Now, let's move on to the things I dislike about the iPhone 15 Pro Max, starting with the fact that the charging speed. I've already talked about the charging speed. It's too slow to charge this smartphone from 0 to 100. It's too slow. Secondly, the action button. You could only do one thing at a time. Like right now, I've set it up to changing from silence to ring. That's all. And if I want to change it to, let's say, camera, it's only one thing at a time. I wish there was like double tap or triple tap or long press, to do other features. But as of right now, it's only one thing at a time. The next thing I dislike about this phone is the fact that you cannot shoot the ProRes videos into the internal storage of the phone. You have to connect an external SSD. So I don't like that. And the next thing I dislike is navigating this iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is a big phone and navigating it is a pain in the butt. The fact that if you want to go back on something, you have to bring your hand right up there, or you just have to swipe from the bottom to go back to the home screen. With Android phone, especially my Galaxy phone, which I have here, let's take for example that I want to go back to the previous page. All I got to do is to swipe from left, any corner. You just do like that, you go back to the previous page. On any corner, you could do that. So it makes navigating the Galaxy phones, which are big phones, much easier. But iPhone, which is also a big phone, it's difficult to navigate it. So you need your two hands in order to navigate the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So those are all the things I love and the things I dislike about the iPhone 15 Pro Max after using it for 2 weeks. And I'll keep testing this smartphone. If you guys want to know anything about it, drop a question in the comment section. I'll reply to all questions. Whatever you want to know, just drop it down in the comment section. I'm going to reply to anything. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notification for a lot of good videos come up on Big Phil TV. Until then, see you into the next one. Peace.